till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Let us march on to victory. Let us march on to victory. Let us march on to victory. Oh, oh yeah.
What's that?
Is what is what is what.
Those of you who are not familiar with Mayor Baraka's videos, it's definitely worth watching. He's, I think probably, I'm safe to say, I think the only mayor in the country and perhaps the world who also has done amazing poetry and also is able to kind of produce these amazing videos, so I encourage you to look at them. So we're really fortunate and lucky to have the mayor with us also today, and you'll get a sense of why we hold him in such esteem. So Mayor Baraka. Thank you.
So I would say welcome to the Newark Museum of Art and its incredible leader, Linda Harrison, who's here as well. And it sits in Newark's Art and Education District, across the street from Harriet Tubman Square. That doesn't get applause in every circle. But we appreciate this circle. It's an honor to be here, the 43rd lecture series started by Clement Price here in this city. It's always been incredible to come here, the information, the opportunity that people get to fellowship and hear real, serious, important dialogue is very, very, very important. And the idea to make academia public and scholarship public so it can be consumed freely by the public is exactly what this is about. And it's incredibly important for us to be able to do that. And I think the topic food justice and food security and the culture of food is very timely now, specifically after us coming out or beginning to come out of this pandemic. Every New Year's Eve, my mother makes Hoppin' John with collard greens and cornbread. It is a tradition in our house and probably millions of other African Americans' households, because our culture is, while it's deeply African, it is uniquely American. My father has an incredible book, Blues People, that traces the history of our folks through music from slavery to freedom. The same can be said for food, because black-eyed peas originates from the continent of Africa, along with okra and watermelon and yams and the things we brought over here. Forcibly, we carried it with us, but we were given leftover food, leftover from the hog that we created delicacies out of that became our meal in soul, what we call soul food or comfort food that people now use as a delicacy. We had to take that food and survive from cornmeal and flour that was given to us, leftover hogs and black-eyed peas we brought with us, and we created a meal out of it that sustained generations of our families in the midst of deep and horrifying oppression in this country. And we carried it in brown paper bags and shoe boxes on the way to the north or back and forth to the south, because we couldn't stop and eat in places because we might have been lynched, because there are some things that are uniquely American for us, like jazz, blues, and lynching. And so we had to carry our food in lunch boxes and shoe boxes and paper bags because we couldn't stop to go to places to eat. So we carried that food with us, and it was good food because it had a greasy stain at the bottom of the bag. But that history of food tells about our journey here in this country, and so it's incredibly important. And the last piece I would say, which is more important to now and to my role and to all of us, the way we think about food justice, is redlining. When we think of redlining, we always think of housing and property, but redlining also had a lot to do with our access to health and healthcare, the building and construction of medical centers and hospitals, but also the building and construction of supermarkets and places that provided access to food. They purposely built them further away from our communities, deliberately and intentionally, as policy. And that's important, because when we talk about this is not accidental or based on people's behavior, that people eat bad, that's their behavior, right? It was based on policy. So in order to change it, there has to be deliberate policy, not just us giving out money to help people in farms, urban farms and community opportunities to resist or to eat, but serious state and federal policy that repairs deliberate wrong that was done to very specific communities on purpose. Right. So I'm glad we're having this discussion, and hopefully our job in having public discourse allows it to move up to the places where it needs to go and spread around, so we can change our discussions, our public discussions, into real policy and actions that take place, that right wrongs that have been systematized and institutionalized for generations to come. But in the meantime, I'm going to make sure that my children have Hoppin' John and cornbread and collard greens every New Year's Eve.